Okay, I'm trying this again. So this is the E39 Avant-2 head unit. Got this in my 528i Touring that I got a couple months ago. It's pretty great. You can see the dials match pretty much consistently with everything else. I wanted to get something that was pretty much hands-free for the most part. As you can see, I've got a stick and a manual, which is pretty rare in the States. So, well, touring. So, give you kind of a rundown. This runs Jelly Bean, Android. Sorry, it's kind of bright. If we add some ambient light here, it'll help. No, that did nothing. Okay, so we've got kind of a Android home screen. Radio, SD card, USB, DVD. You put a DVD in this slot, and it'll just play whatever. Navigation. This will run like Google Maps, so it'll say where you're at, and you can just kind of scroll around. Like if you log into your Maps account, it'll remember all the last locations that you went to. So, like, if you were looking up a restaurant on your phone and you got the address, you'd get in your car, and that address would most likely populate in your past history, and then you would just click it and say route, and it'll go there, which, frankly, I think is a brilliant concept. Let's see. Why is it not? So this is tethered to my phone. So as you can see here, what am I doing here? I have to turn on Wi-Fi though. Normally Wi-Fi, I had shut the car off. Oh, it's probably because there's a terrible Wi-Fi connection here. Anyway, little glitches now and again, but so yeah, so car navigation, that's great. It's got an iPod adapter. I know most people don't use an iPod. I had an old one that the scroll wheel broke on, so this is pretty perfect because I just threw it in the glove box, and now you can just it just kind of categorizes all of your music just like it would on the iPod. So kind of a nice solution for me, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, you would play it through this interface and etc. etc. So let's go back again. It's got a browser. I don't know why you would want to use the browser, but if you needed to, if you're bored sitting here. Let's see. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. As you can see on the buttons here, you can press any one of these and it's a shortcut, right? So we hit nav, right? And it'll go straight to Google Maps, which is brilliant, I think, personally. It's a nice touch. Let's go back. So aux in, and then we get to like apps. So since it runs Jelly Bean, you can pretty much run whatever app you want. I know a lot of people with this unit will use Waze instead of Google Maps because, Google Maps uses it's not fake GPS, but it uses known Wi-Fi data and sort of Wi-Fi points as well as cell tower locations to basically triangulate your location. It's more of a guesstimate. What Waze actually does with this unit is it uses, I don't know if you can see it over there, but I've got a little external GPS antenna that I run kind of through the dash here, and goes kind of back there and sits up on the dashboard there. But what that does is it's much more of an accurate, but it doesn't give you all the cool stuff that Maps does. And since I have a LTE connection. I just use it anyway. Play Store, pretty great as far as, you can just select the apps that you want as opposed to having to side load them, or whatever the case may be. This is kind of cool. I don't know if it's still recording, but this is my dash camera. So you can probably see, yeah, right underneath my rear view mirror, I've got a dash camera. And this feeds straight into this unit. And so it records little snippets, like 5 minutes at a time, of whatever is in front of you. So I did the same thing and routed it kind of through the headlining and out through. You can kind of see the wire up there. But in any case, you can see like the list of videos that's recorded. Pretty neat system. And then that's for the front, and then cleverly enough, if you kind of watch me do this, it'll go to a backup camera when you put it in reverse. Oh, actually, I think the car has to be on. Okay, car is on. Goes to reverse. You can, oh wow, that's bright. But yeah, you can kind of see the lines that lead back there, and as soon as you take it out, it goes back. Pretty clever. I kind of wanted a system like this on my car, but most of them are kind of crappy and they're hooked up to some little tiny camera and you can't see anything. But that camera back there has an LED on it, extremely bright, so you can pretty much see anything behind you. It's got torque, this guy here. I've had mixed success with it thus far, only because you have to get an appropriate dial and stuff like that for it, but I mean an OBD scanner. I've got one, I haven't spent enough time with it. Honestly, it's got all this kind of crazy stuff. I mean, you can run Netflix on this thing, which is crazy, but it's still, I haven't signed in or anything, but it plays through your speakers. It's like if you're sitting in a parking lot or something and you're kind of bored, it's like just fire this thing up and it plays through the speakers. It's got a really good EQ. So the speakers on this car weren't great originally, but you can just hit the EQ button and it'll kind of give you all these presets, for the speakers. I mean, it was originally, this is the hi-fi system, not the DSP, so it's far from great, and it has like the world's oldest subwoofer in the back, which is not brilliant, but we can go into kind of advanced settings here, but I have to say, when I had the old unit in here compared to this one, it's like night and day difference as far as the quality. I had to bump up the bass quite a little bit because you just get none. You just really, because I mean these speakers are 14 years old. They're not going to be like Harman Kardon or Rockford Fosgate kind of quality sound or something comparable, but lots of cool stuff. Is there anything else this thing does? I'm looking to integrate a number of systems with it, particularly this car dash droid. This is a brilliant system in my opinion. This is like a great interface that I particularly like. As you're driving along, you get the time, you get the date, you get the temperature, you get sort of like the idea of what the conditions are. I assume this means like foggy. It gives you your speed based on GPS. Ironically enough, that's how I figured out this car is like 4 miles an hour off. So it reads fast. Bluetooth, Pandora, like search BMW. This is another cool feature. And then what it'll do is just give me a quick Google search of whatever. You can do the same thing with Navigate. Because it doesn't run KitKat, you can't do the big, Google Anywhere. Not yet, at least. I suppose that may be coming in the future, but for now, instead of having a tiny little button over here somewhere, you get this big, fat, microphone that you can just tap, and it's no big deal. And then the call feature. So, like on the dash or on the steering wheel, you can see we've got a couple of buttons. So, like this guy right here, the call button, we can just press that, and then it pulls up your your phone thing. So you can either dial or phone book feature is kind of strange. I haven't gotten to sync really well yet, but as soon as I get that synced, you can just basically do the phone book and call people. The other neat feature is this bottom button down here, RT, whatever that means. It allows you, once you press that, it will allow you to select through various components. So like if you're on the go, see I just did that. If it was saying a goofy turn or something that I didn't understand, it'll pull up maps, or like you can go to disk or back to the phone if I wanted, or to iPod, or it's pretty much got, or disk, yeah. So anyway, pretty neat as far as what it can do. Yeah, I'm looking to get rid of this interface, but it's pretty slick. Looking to install a selection of apps that might help. I mean, even play music works really well. Yeah, great. Probably be releasing some more videos showing what I can do with it in the future.